4 days. 4 days till college football. You guys getting excited? And girls getting excited? We'll start the show in about 10 or 15 minutes. We'll take some phone calls. Talk some college football. How's that sound? I think that'll be just fine.
Are you scared?
Devil without a cause, and I'm back with the beaver hats and Ben Davis slacks. 30-pack of stroll, 30-pack of hoe. No road gain in the propane flows. The chosen one, I'm the living proof with the gift of gab from the city of truth. I jabbed and stabbed and knocked critics back, and I did not stutter when I said that. I'm going platinum, selling rhymes. I went platinum 7 times. And still they ill and wanna see us ride. I guess because only God knows why. They call me cowboy, I'm a singer in black. So throw a finger in the air, let me see where you're at. Say, hey, hey. Let me hear where you're at. Say, hey, hey. I'm giving it back, so say, hey, hey. Show me some metal and say, hey, 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 hey. Fuck all y'all. I like the AC/DC and ZZ Top. Bocephus Beasties and the Kings on rock. Skinner, Seeger, Limp, Corn, the Stones. David Allen Cole with No Show Jones. Yeah! Pass that bottle around. Got the rock from Detroit. Soul from Motown. The underground stone. Fucking pimp. With tracks that Mac and slap back the whack. Never gain away. I don't play with ass. But watch me rock with Liberace Flash. Punk rock the class. Boy bands are trash. I like Johnny Cash and Grandmaster Flash. Flash, 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 flash. They call me cowboy, I'm a singer in black. So throw a finger in the air, let me see where you're at. Say, hey, hey. Let me hear where you're at. Say, hey, hey. I'm giving it back, so say, hey, hey. Show me some metal and say, hey, 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 hey.
Yeah, I saw your band jumping around on stage like a bunch of wounded ducks. When you gonna learn, sucker? You just can't fuck with.
American badass, watch me kick. You can roll with rock or you can suck my dick. I'm a porno flick, I'm like Amazing Grace. I'm gonna fuck some hoes after I rock this place. Super fly, living double wide. Sidecar, my glide, so Josie can ride. Full sack to share, bringing flash and flare. Got the long hair, swinging middle finger in the air. Snakeskin suit, 65 Chappelle. See me riding sin, hear the rebel yell. I won't live to tell. So if you do, give the next generation a big fuck you. Who knew I'd blow a black punk walk over? Said fuck high school, pissed on my diploma. Smell the aroma, check my hits. I know it stinks in here, cause I'm the shit. Shit, 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 shit. They call me cowboy, I'm a singer in black. So throw a finger in the air, let me see where you're at. Say, hey, hey. Let me hear where you're at. Say, hey, hey. I'm giving it back, so say, hey, hey. Show me some metal and say, hey, 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 hey. I'm a cowboy, badass and black, singing, hey, 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 hey. From side to side, from front to back, say, hey, 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 hey. I put Detroit City back on the map for singing, hey, 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 hey. Kid Rock's in the house and that's where I'm at.
Yep, we're gonna start in about 10 minutes. Hit the thumbs up. Get your phone calls ready. We'll start in about 10 minutes.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Yeah, good morning, and that is Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for tuning in. Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. Do this every Tuesday and Thursday night, year-round. There is no off-season here. There's just a part of the season where we don't play games, and that part of the season is fast coming to an end. 4 days? 3 days? Got games on Saturday. Wisconsin. I keep saying Wisconsin. Illinois and Nebraska. That's the only Power 5 matchup. Fresno State's playing. UCLA's playing. Hawaii's playing. Connecticut's playing. But Nebraska and Illinois is really the best game we have. But it's college football, though. That's all that matters. It's college football. Uncle Lou will be watching it. I will be streaming, live streaming during the Nebraska-Illinois game over on the Patreon page. Link in the description. If you don't know about the Patreon page, not sure what's wrong with you. Click the link, check it out. Join up the Uncle Lou Patreon page. We have a good time on there. I live stream one game every weekend during the season over on the Patreon page. Well, I live stream a bunch of games. I live stream one time slot. I either do noon, 3:30, or 7:30. I let the Patreon people vote every week on what time they want me to stream, and I stream all those games over on the Patreon. So click the link in the description and check it out. But I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Get on the phones. Give me a call, 706-786-4481, 706-786-4481. Of course, the big news today, no news. ACC, Big Ten, Pac-12 had a huge news conference to announce that they don't have any news. Nothing in writing, no contract, no agreement, no details, no nothing. It's a friendship pact. You know what it is? It's the goddamn Goonies. It's the Goonies. The Goonies held a meeting to cry about the SEC and then held a news conference to say the news is there is no news. The goddamn Goonies. Gentleman's agreement. Ask Texas A&M about a gentleman's agreement. Texas A&M had a gentleman's agreement that Texas would not be joining the SEC. How'd that work out? That's the problem with gentlemen's agreements. First of all, no one that made that gentleman's agreement is around anymore, and that too will be the case with the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12. What is this, some kind of a scheduling alliance? Whoopity fucking do. The Pac-12 already has a scheduling agreement with the Big Ten. The ACC and SEC play multiple games a year. Georgia plays Georgia Tech. Clemson plays South Carolina. Florida plays Florida State. Louisville plays Kentucky. Georgia's got 5 games scheduled with Clemson in the next 15 years. We've got a home and home scheduled with Florida State. We've got a neutral site game scheduled with Oregon. Scheduling alliance. If The Rock was here, you know what he would say? The Rock says, you can take that scheduling alliance, sign it up real nice, turn it sideways, and stick it straight up your candy ass. A scheduling alliance. Here's what I say about a scheduling alliance. Whoopity you! Yeah, that means about as much as Tennessee being the 2020 quarantine recruiting champions. And it'll work out the same way. Tennessee finished in the toilet in recruiting like they do every year. And this gentleman's agreement ain't worth the hands it was shook on. Well, we made a handshake deal. We made a coffee deal. Yeah. Your Honor, the Pac-12 man promised me that he would join my friendship pact, and now he's backing out. Judge looks over. Fuck out my courtroom with that bullshit. Man, you can't help but feel sorry for the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12. They just, well. It is what it is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Laugh and point and laugh. That's all you can do. Same thing you do when you see Chess Hall. That's all you can do. Point and laugh. Dogs on top, thank you for hitting the super chat to start the show tonight, sir. I appreciate that. He says, go Dogs, push them back, way back. Way back. Yeah. Yeah. All right, you guys, hit the thumbs up if you haven't hit it already. We're fixing to get on the phone line, 706-786-4481. It looks like they're backed up, so we're going to get right to it. Super Chat is located directly below the comments section. It's a great way to support the show, and make sure you get your comments seen and read by yours truly, Uncle Lou. There's also a PayPal link for those of you that don't mind doing it that way. YouTube steals 50% of your Super Chat. PayPal does not. It's up to you either way. You can attach a note with your PayPal, and I'd be happy to read it too. Choice is yours. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. Lucas Sharp, Battle Angel, Talk His Pit, Brandon Reese, JJ, Pigskin Pete, JC, Big Dog, Bobby Wagner, Lucas Sharp, Pizza Woman, G White, Go Tigers, 504. We them 504 boys. I'm not, but maybe you are. Triple Diesel, Jason Crosby, Tennille, Ronnie, Brad Pitt, RB Smata, Defoe, Jake C, Brandon Reese, Jay Jones, Dago, Caden Smith, Kevin Newsom. YouTube, Kevin Newsom says, YouTube is part of the scheduling alliance. That damn YouTube is at it again. That damn YouTube is at it again, man. Jonathan Aaron, Matt Dummett, Shelly Mack, Pizza Woman, Manuel, Corey Miller, the Weatherman, Carolina Jackpot. Carolina Jackpot. Hell wrong with your buddy Rob, man. Look. This man, Rob, in public, on YouTube, said Kirby Smart isn't a top 25 coach in America. What is he, allergic to credibility? This guy has a legitimate show on Fox Radio. Kirby Smart, I can understand. Listen, there ain't a bigger Kirby Smart critic than me. Okay? I can see not having him in the top 5. I've even listened to arguments from people who try to tell me Matt Campbell is better, Pat Fitzgerald is better. Whether I agree or not, okay. There ain't 10 better. If you don't have Kirby Smart in your list of top 10 coaches, you know jack squat about college football. Oh, all he can do is recruit. Recruiting is 90% of college football. I mean, I swear to God, I don't know. Can Rob Sanders fog a mirror? It's a serious question. I might call that clown. Yes, I will. If I do, I will record it. Yes. If I do, I will record it. That guy's about dumber than let's list some things he's dumber than. He's dumber than a junk drawer. He's dumber than a freezer full of dead batteries. What else? This guy, Kirby Smart's not a top 25 coach? I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, that's just insane. What is Lincoln Riley? Lincoln Riley has a top 5 recruiting class every year. Kirby Smart has accomplished more than he has. You're telling me Lincoln Riley's not a top 25 coach either? Lincoln Riley runs through the Big 12 like it's not there, because basically it's not there. Then he gets to the playoffs and loses every single year. Kirby at least has a playoff win. You trying to tell me that means, so is Lincoln Riley not a top 25 coach either? I don't understand how some of these people, there's no way Rob Sanders Velcros his own shoes. There's no way. Somebody has to do it for him. Somebody has to be doing it for him. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou. You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. I don't know what was going on. I hear you now though.
Okay. All right, cool. This is a time caller. Love your show.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I think your show, and I listen to a lot of your show and Carolina Jackpot and Rob, and I'm not trying to start anything, but like he said, he would destroy you in a debate. So
What?
I really want to make that happen.
Oh my God!
So let's please
He
make
said that out
happen.
loud.
That would
He said
be
that out
insane.
loud where people could hear it.
Yeah, on one of his shows.
Man, that guy ain't got enough sense to coming out of the rain, does he? What is he? Is his channel struggling or something? Does he need attention?
And maybe that's it.
I can't think of any
But
other
anyway, I
logical
would love to hear
explanation.
Well, that's not really why I was calling, but I think I was listening to one of your live shows a couple weeks ago, and you had a caller that I guess y'all were talking about stadiums, and I think you said you would love to do something where you visited a whole bunch of stadiums and was gone from
Oh,
September.
man, look, I'd love to get in my car tomorrow and not come back here until January 20th, you know?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I'd love to do
Well,
that.
I'm actually doing something like that this fall. I'm visiting all 14 SEC stadiums.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man.
But-
Do you have it mapped
yeah,
out and
but-
planned out already?
I actually do. I tried to when I went to do this, I kind of viewed every team's schedule and said, what's their biggest game or most hype game? Something that would, you would get the full experience. And so, yeah, I have a full schedule. So I'm gonna try and hit as many big ones as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to answer this or not. I'm just curious about what did it cost you in tickets?
In tickets,
Total.
um,
I'm assuming you paid
probably
an
between
average
two
of
and
$200 a ticket at least.
yeah, it was between about 2,000 and 3,000.
Okay.
But I've been saving up for it.
Yeah, especially if you're saying you're wanting to go to
Oh,
some
yeah,
of some of the bigger games, those can get pricey.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, you had to make some choices. But I don't want to go just to sit in the upper deck. But
Right.
uh,
So what are some of the
yeah, you
what are
did.
some of the ones you're looking forward to the most that you know you're going to?
Well, if I had to pick one, I would probably say Texas A&M because few reasons. I haven't been that far west before, and I am going to the Alabama game.
Oh, yeah, that was going to be my next
But-
question. Obviously, that's their biggest game this year. So, damn,
Right.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And I'm
man.
actually going to be in. My first game is Kentucky. They're kind of playing a nobody team week one. There's not really any good games week one, but other than the obvious. But my goal is not to go to neutral site stadiums.
Right.
But yeah.
So who are you doing this
I
with?
wanted
Is this
to-
like a father-son thing, or a group of buddies, or who all's in on this?
No, it's really just me, and I do have a brother and a roommate where we were talking about going to a couple of them, but it's mainly going to be just me.
So now, what state do you live in?
I live in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay, so like a game at Texas A&M, is that what is that going to end up being? Like a 4-day trip for you, 5-day trip? What are you? I mean, you're not
Well,
taking
for-
off work
for
for the
that
next
one-
6 months, are you? Or are you?
Oh no, I got permission to take Fridays off. So
Okay.
the basic weekend would be go up Friday afternoon. I want to spend Saturday there,
Right.
maybe tour the area, do the game day thing, and then come back Sunday.
Okay. Wow.
But for the Texas A&M, I'm hitting LSU the week before, so I'll probably just stay out there for that.
Oh yeah, that would
that
make
week.
sense. Yeah, that would make sense. Just take a week vacation or whatever you have to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and
spend
I've got
time
a
in the
job
weather.
that allows
Yeah.
me to work with me.
Yeah. Man, that sounds like a lot of fun, man. I'm jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wait till my
Yeah,
kids are.
well-
It's probably gonna be about 10 years before I can do something like that. My youngest kid is in 7th grade, so I'm probably gonna have to wait
Oh,
till
yeah.
they're out of school before I do
Years.
anything like that. But man, I'm very jealous. Yeah, I hope you're gonna be real busy with all this, but I hope you'll call back in over the course of the season and tell us about your experiences at these stadiums.
Yeah, I do want to do that, and maybe I can get in the comments, and if anybody has any places to go or eat or see or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a suggestion.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
But yeah, I'll try and call in as much as I can if I can get through.
Yeah.
But yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I bet, man.
Big time college football, man.
Yeah. Now, so who's your favorite team?
Oh, I'm a lifelong suffering Gamecocks fan.
Ah, okay. So which game are you seeing in Williams-Brice this year?
I got the Auburn game at the end of the year.
Oh, okay. That'd be a good one. Y'all beat them last year, so you got the revenge factor for Auburn and 2 new head coaches there. That's that game's got some interest.
Yeah, and I've actually been to Athens, and I've been to Knoxville, and I've been to the Swamp.
Oh, okay.
But they were all noon games because we don't typically get the primetime games.
Right.
But I feel like I didn't get a chance to really do a whole lot. So
yeah,
looking forward to those ones too. But I heard you talking to that guy, and I had to call in because, I don't know how many people are doing this year, but I'll try and keep you updated. Maybe call in throughout the year.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And that's good work.
All right, man. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to hear back from you. Thank you for the call. Moving right along. Yeah, good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou, though.
Hey, Uncle Lou, how you doing this evening, sir?
Doing great, Hog. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Hey, got a quick question for you. What do you think of this total BS that the Big Ten, Pac-12, the ACC doing? Do you think it's just a train wreck like I think it is?
Yeah, I think it's what I said it was at the beginning of the show. It's nothing.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm thinking. What do you think will happen? Do you think the Little Eight's going to try to join in with maybe the Pac-12 eventually, or the Big Ten?
The little no. Well, some schools will. Yes, some will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just wondering. So I just wanted to get your take on it because I think it's a bunch of BS and I don't see it working. But anyway, have a great show. Talk to you soon.
All right, thanks for the call, Hog. Good to hear from you, sir.
Hey.
Yeah, good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou, though.
Going on, Uncle Lou, the old South Carolina fan right down the road from you. This whole alliance bull crap thing. To me, it seems like that one friend you had in high school that always hung out with popular people just to act like he was popular, knowing that they can't ever compete with the SEC. I think it's going to be a complete freaking train wreck, and they're just trying to compete with the SEC, and there's just no chance in hell. They're doing everything they can.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, the Pac-12 and the Big Ten made a scheduling alliance a couple of years ago. There was no big press conference about it. It was just, hey, we're gonna play a couple of cross conference games every year, and that was it. And it's pretty cool because we get to see Ohio State and Oregon, and we get to see Washington and Michigan this year, and so I mean that's pretty cool. But plenty of SEC teams have big non-con games coming up too, so it just seems like they made a big deal out of something that is not really that big of a deal. I mean, are they gonna unless they're gonna come out and say and we're not playing any SEC teams anymore, which they're not gonna do. Clemson has to play South Carolina. It's a state law. So
other than last year for some god awful reason.
Yeah. So I don't I don't know what's going to come of this, but as far as the big announcement today, the announcement was that there is no announcement. I mean, so today they fell flat on their face today.
Oh yeah, South Carolina in 2025, we have a neutral site game against Virginia Tech, which I think has some interest, just because Shane Beamer and his dad and all that.
Yeah.
It's just it didn't make no sense, hearing the announcement. It's just those other conferences it's just those kids that hung around the cool kids just so they could think they were cool.
Right. I think okay. Yeah. Thank you for the call. It was good to hear from you. I mean, I think all three of those conferences are still viable against the SEC, even with Texas and Oklahoma. I mean, it's not like those three conferences are going to fold. And you know, they could just add some teams. I mean, some of the teams are obvious. Cincinnati is sitting there waiting for someone to take them. Central Florida is sitting there waiting for someone to take them. Memphis, Boise State. Those are four teams that are better than half the teams in those other three conferences. Where's that announcement? Where's that announcement? Where's the Big Ten saying we're taking Kansas and whoever else? Iowa State. You know, where's the Pac-12 announcement saying we're taking Boise State and TCU? Where's the ACC announcement saying we're taking Cincinnati and Central Florida? Not making those moves is what got these conferences behind the eight ball to start with. Not lack of a friendship pact. Friggin' Goonies. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hello?
Yep, that's you.
Oh, gotcha. How's it going, Lou?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Doing good. Jim from Florida.
What's up, Jim?
Anyway, all right. So, there was something I wanted to talk about, but before I get to that, that Fox News guy,
Yeah,
talking about Kirby. Not being a top 25 coach.
yes.
Is that right?
That's what he said. He said Kirby Smart's not a top 25,
Yeah.
not one of the top 25 coaches.
Man, that's ridiculous. Honestly.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
I think he's probably top 5, but I would listen to an argument that he's 8, 9, or 10. I'm not listening to anybody. I'm not listening to any argument where they tell me he's 15 or 20 or not 25.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. All right. Which I can't talk too much about coaches. You know, I'm an Auburn fan, so I'll tell you what, I think overall, Kirby is a top 5 coach overall. I think so. The only ones that you can say that are better are just Nick Saban and Dabo.
I'll put Saban, Dabo, Mac Brown, Jimbo Fisher. I'll listen to arguments for Lincoln Riley. I'll listen to arguments for Ryan Day. I honestly don't know who else you could possibly put above Kirby Smart right now. I'm just being serious. I don't know who else you could put above him.
There's like a few things that kind of set him back as a coach. Like, I think his game day, like just him being a game day coach and preparation for the games, like big games, small games. I think it could get a lot better, honestly, because it seems like a lot of the time they don't really have a plan B at all. They don't have any kind of adjustments, like a lot of the time. And obviously they haven't figured out anything involving a quarterback until just here recently. So,
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, the Jake Fromm, Justin Fields thing, and then you got last year with JT Daniels, and we'll probably all go to our grave not knowing what the real story with that is. I mean, the guy was cleared to play after week 1. I don't know of a difference between cleared to play, but we're not ready to play. I don't get it. The guy had been practicing. They dressed him out for a road trip to Arkansas, hoping he would be cleared during pregame warmups. He wasn't, so he didn't play. and then we didn't see him again till over halfway through the season. So I don't know what happened there either. He clearly screwed that up. I mean, I don't make any excuses for Kirby Smart. I mean, you won't find a Georgia fan anywhere that's harder on Kirby Smart than I am when he deserves it.
Yeah.
But Nick Saban started Jalen Hurts for an entire season over Tua. Dan Mullen started Felipe Franks 2 years in a row over Kyle Trask. Dabo and Saban are really the only two coaches who have ever made that ballsy of a move, and they're the two best coaches in college football right now. Dabo benched a playoff quarterback, Kelly Bryant, in favor of a more talented freshman, Trevor Lawrence, and Nick Saban did the same thing. Plenty of other coaches have screwed up the quarterback position. Now, not all of them not all of them were a top 4 team when they did it. So Kirby doing it got a lot more attention for obvious reasons. But it's not Kirby's fault that Florida can't finish in the top 5. But he still screwed the quarterback position up 2 years in a row. And he's supposed to be an offensive genius and a quarterback guru. Kirby Smart wouldn't know an offense if it ran him over.
Yeah. And what do you think about his game day preparation and just being a coach on game day?
I think it's gotten better.
Decisions.
Early on, he screwed up a lot at the end of the first half and the end of the second half. I still take issue with his conservative nature in the second half of games when we have a lead. I think it's come back to bite us at several points in several different seasons. So I still have a lot of issues with him. He's been a coach for 5 years. I'll take his record after 5 years over Nick Saban's or Dabo Swinney's. It's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in what a lot of people don't realize is that compared to a lot of other coaches around, like Nick Saban and Dabo, that are, some of the greats, of course, Nick Saban being, the greatest coach ever in the sport, Kirby's kind of, he's kind of newer than a lot of these people, head coaching.
I mean, see, like this here, Georgia has recruited well and underachieved. I mean, okay. Okay, here's a list of teams. Here's a list of teams that underachieved last year: Ohio State, Oklahoma, Clemson, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, LSU. Just go on down the list. I mean, unless you're saying that unless you win a national title, you're underachieving. I mean, how many years in a row does Kirby Smart have to finish in the top 5 or the top 10 or whatever it is? Florida State had top 10 talent last year, couldn't make a bowl game. Same the year before. That's underachieving. Kirby Smart is losing to Alabama and teams like that. And finishing in the top 5, top 10 every single year. I'll take that.
Yeah, which honestly, at this point, with the amount of talent that Georgia has now, which, Alabama just this year had probably one of the best recruiting classes ever. But the amount of talent that Georgia has.
The amount of talent that Georgia has is very similar to Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Clemson, Texas A&M, and LSU. All 6 of those teams can't win a national title this year. Only one of them can. So the other 5 are going to underachieve.
Yeah. I think Georgia has the second most talent in the country, honestly. Behind Alabama.
And so what does that mean? If they don't finish second, that means they underachieved?
No, I think eventually they just, I'm not saying that they're underachieving. I'm just
Penn
saying,
State went
I'm
5 and
actually
4.
saying the opposite.
Penn State went 4 and 5 last year.
Now,
LSU went 5 and 5. Florida State can't make a bowl game.
Which I don't think that Ed Orgeron is a very good coach.
How many
think
top
he's
10
as good
classes?
at-
How many top 10 classes does Texas have in the last 4 years? 3.
Yep.
I mean, Georgia has done more than all those teams with similar talent. So
All right, but I got another topic. All right, so I'm an Auburn fan, so basically, Gus got fired because of his road record, his record against LSU, Georgia, and not being able to develop quarterback, offensive inconsistencies, that kind of thing. Well, what if our record gets a lot significantly better against LSU and Georgia? So, like, our record against Georgia was like 2-7 under Gus. I mean, it was pretty bad.
yeah, you're 3-13.
And even,
You're 3
even
and
one of those
13.
wins,
You're 3-13 in the last 16 against Georgia. Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
and even one of those wins,
away, play on the moon, play on the roof of a dollar store. Doesn't matter. You're 3-13 against Georgia. The last 16 games.
and
Gus
really,
Malzahn recruited in the top 15 every single year. How many years did he finish in the top 15? 4. What an underachiever.
yeah, but one of those wins that he got against Georgia almost really doesn't even count because they lost 2 weeks later to Georgia in the SEC championship game. So,
Right.
I mean, like, whoop-de-doo, we won, the Deep South's oldest rivalry.
Right.
Yeah. So, what if which it's not going to happen this year just because, we got to get the system together, new coaching staff. Usually that takes a while. So what if we're probably going to start 0-1 against Georgia and LSU this year under Harsin? It's just pretty likely that we'll lose LSU and Georgia this year. But what if the record for Georgia and LSU significantly improve? Like, I'm talking like 500 by year 4 or 5. We are tied or under 1 in the series against LSU and Georgia. Like, we're 2-3 against Georgia and 3-2 against LSU. Like, but we haven't won a single game against Alabama. Like, we're like 0-5 against Alabama because Gus. What kept Gus so long? One of the things is his amazing record against Alabama. I don't think Auburn fans
that and a
can really
$50 million
get used
contract
to losing against Alabama.
A $50 million contract that no one could afford to buy out.
But beating Alabama is what got him that contract.
No, losing to Central Florida in a brunch bowl is what got him that contract. Hey, thank you for the call. Good luck this year to your Barners. Got to get rid of Bo Nix before you can probably do anything meaningful, though. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Waikiki, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, former Pitt coach said today he's here in West Virginia to the ACC, Oklahoma State and Kansas State to the Pac-12, Iowa State and Kansas to the Big Ten. Yep, that's pretty much what everyone has been hearing. I think most of that would make sense to me. Yeah, I think most of that would make sense. Dogs on Top, thank you for the super chat. He says, we got to come in there and have a dominant attitude. I wake up with a dominant attitude. I don't know what Georgia's waiting on. I have no idea. Yeah, good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
What's up, Lou? Carolina Jackpot.
Jackpot, what's up, buddy?
Not much. Hey, thought about coming on here to try to defend Rob, but I can't. He's soiling my name, sir.
I'm just a little bit perturbed.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Now, you know him better than I do. Do you think he means that, or is he doing hot take stuff for the sake of attention?
It may be a combination of both, but I know that he's a Clemson homer who does a radio show that's based out of Columbia, so he has to be objective.
Right.
But he finds it hard to be objective, and he's always like really solidly in the camp of the SEC. Ooh, we play in the SEC. Ooh, we play Alabama. Ooh. And he throws that out at a number of SEC teams, including Georgia and South Carolina. And it's just it's kind of sad to listen to sometimes.
Well, Clemson's played Georgia a bunch of times too, and it hasn't worked out well.
Yeah.
Clemson.
Shout out to Atlanta Weather over your comment section.
Yes.
Highlighted my name and said, "Carolina Jackpot, you are nothing." Sir, please let us know about your channel. Give me a link to it. I'm sure it's really riveting, Mr. Atlanta Weather. Anyway, it's kind of sad to listen to sometimes. It really is, because he grinds the same old narrative, that what conference you play in means nothing. The only thing that means anything is the talent level on your team, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I understand that. I get all that. But you cannot tell me that playing a steady diet of Boston Colleges, Wake Forest, and Dukes, and Syracuse's all year long does not get a team a little bit of an advantage when they get to the playoffs, as opposed to playing teams like Auburn, like Florida, like a Mizzou, like a Kentucky. While they may not be great teams, they're decent teams. They're more physical. They play a more physical style of football.
Hey,
and
you
that's
have
my whole thing, and I can never get that through the thick head that rests atop his ample shoulders.
Yeah. You have your own channel and you're full of hot air, so I'm confident you can complete this task. I have to go pee, so the floor is yours for 90 seconds. Do whatever you want. Promote your channel, whatever. I'll be right back.
Oh, so guys, if you haven't heard yet, and you probably have, you need to check out the Carolina Jackpot channel. Click the link in the description box on any of the videos that I've posted recently. We've got a college pick'em contest going on starting the 4th of September. All it is, it's a $20 entry fee, guys, $20 for the entire year. We've got about 35 participants so far, so that gives us around a $700 pot. Hope to at least double that to about $1,500 pot by the end of the year. So you got to figure, if you get 150 people in there, that's like, that's a really decent sized pot. And a lot of you claim to be, really good at picking college football games. Some of you better than others. Put your money where your mouth is. That gives you like a 1 in 150 chance of winning $1,500 to $2,000. Hey, there is no scratch off. There is no Powerball ticket. There is no online game. There's no slot machine. There's no a game in Las Vegas anywhere where you're going to get that good of an odds to win over $1,000. And all you got to do is be able to pick some football games. Tiger Baskin says that my channel is a chicken farm. Yes, it is. I'm very proud of it, too.
I tell people all
totally
the time, you better subscribe to Carolina Jackpot, even if all you want to do is watch the post-game reactions. You have the best post-game reactions on the entire internet, sir. I've been saying it for years.
Totally Not Depressed says, how's it feel not knowing your South Carolina Gamecocks are not the number one? Okay, who is? I can't really see your avatar there because, at my age, my eyes are starting to go a little bit. You're a Jacksonville State man. Well, I think you may win against Florida State week 2. Seriously mean that.
You ain't got to talk to me
So
about
good
age. I
luck.
can't even make it through a night show without peeing anymore. I don't know if it's my prostate, my bladder, my kidneys, or all three. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Through a night show, I can't even make it through a night in bed without peeing anymore, man.
All right, Jackpot. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming on,
but,
buddy, and thanks for holding it down for me while Uncle Lou took the potty break. I appreciate that. I hope to talk to you again soon.
sir.
Carolina
Good morning.
Jackpot checking in on the Patreon hotline. That's right. He didn't have to wait on hold. He went straight to the front of the line. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey Lou, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just sitting here waiting for tomorrow. I get the Georgia Clemson student ticket announcements come out, so I'm pretty excited about that. Hoping I'll be able to go to Charlotte. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the tickets for students are only $50, so that's a steal in my book. I mean they're trying to offer $150 to Tennessee, but only $50 to Clemson. I don't really know how much sense that makes, but
Yeah. Not much.
yeah.
Most
Yeah.
Tennessee home
But,
games, most Tennessee tickets to most Tennessee home games cost less than a Big Mac meal.
Yeah, but I'd like to get your thoughts on the run game situation this year for Georgia. I know last year, I mean, comparatively speaking, it was a little bit of a down year for Georgia with running game. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't compared to what they did in 2017, 2018, 2019. And obviously, it's going to help getting most of the offensive line back and or all your running backs back. But
I think losing Kendall Milton hurt last year because this is an unpopular opinion amongst Georgia fans, but I don't really care. I hope he proves me wrong this year. But Zeus's 2 knee injuries have just taken it out of him. He's just not the same player. Now, sometimes it takes guys a couple of years to get back, and I hope we see the Zeus I thought we were going to see. I hope we see that this year. James Cook and McIntosh, to me, are role players, basically. James Cook can't line up and run the ball 15 times a game. He just can't, and neither can McIntosh. They're great players, and they'll find a spot in the NFL because in the NFL, they will take a role player. You think about somebody like a Miko Hardman or a Tyreek Hill, these undersized people that, they find ways to use them like that. But when Milton went down, I think that hurt the run game last year. I still think Georgia has probably the best running back room in the SEC when you talk about Zeus, Kendall Milton, James Cook, and McIntosh. Those are potentially 4 NFL players depending on how Zeus does this year. I think another reason the numbers were down some last year is we are throwing the ball more. If you look at Georgia's run-pass percentage, it's a little bit more to the pass now. And Georgia could have an amazing running game this year. Georgia could have the best run game in America this year. That's not beating Clemson. That's not beating Alabama. That's not winning a national title. It's just not. You got to have a quarterback that can throw for 300-plus when you need him to. That's what wins national titles. So I'm not concerned about Georgia's run game. I think we have an amazing group of running backs. I think we got a good offensive line. Doesn't concern me at all. But I don't think we're getting where we want to go because we have a great running back room. We had a great running back room going all the way back to 2014. I mean, just list the running backs we've had since 2014. Or 2012. Todd Gurley, Keith Marshall, Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, DeAndre Swift, Elijah Holyfield, Zamir White, James Cook, Kendall Milton, Kenny McIntosh. I don't know how many running backs I just named. They're almost all NFL running backs. And in a lot of cases, we had 4 of them on the team at the same time. Didn't win a national title. Why? Because we had Grayson Lambert, Jack Fromm, Stetson Bennett. That's why.
Yeah, and what I struggle with sometimes with Kirby is, I don't know what your whole take with the whole subbing, running back out every snap or two. I feel like it's kind of hard for, Zeus. Maybe this goes back to his injury. That's why he gets subbed out so much. But I feel like, and I felt like this with Swift. I thought Swift. I mean, honestly, I thought Swift should. I was shocked that he didn't make, like a Heisman finalist or anything. But he couldn't with the way with the amount of carries, it's hard to be a Heisman finalist when you get 10 carries a game. And, I feel like, I guess I'm more old school. I like running
I'm
back
with you.
in a rhythm.
Look at Chubb and Michelle. Chubb and Michelle senior year. Sony Michelle averaged 9.5 carries a game. Nick Chubb averaged 10.5.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's hard for Zeus to get.
You're not winning a
hard,
Heisman with that. Yeah, you're not winning a Heisman with that.
Yeah, you see Zeus, pop off a 7, 8, 9-yard run where he's throwing guys off and then he goes straight to the sideline. It's kind of hard. I like my running backs to get into a rhythm. I feel like, and you see it on defense too. I mean, you can name on one hand the duo Adam Anderson and Nolan Smith.
Same thing.
Two outside linebackers, one outside to them.
Same thing.
And they, I feel
Aziz
like
Ojulari, going all the way back to
hell,
Leonard Floyd, Lorenzo Carter, Aziz Ojulari, Brenton Cox, who's now at Florida, Adam Anderson, Nolan Smith. These are all NFL outside linebackers that have never had more than 5 sacks in a season at UJ. Why? In one play, out the next. In one play, out the next.
I mean, Nolan Smith's the top, 10, 15 talent in college football, and it just doesn't. And you saw the same thing with, Jermaine. The guy that went to
Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, I don't blame him for
Jermaine
transferring
Johnson,
at all. I don't. You know what? He's the best player on Florida State's team. Yeah, and he'll have 10+ sacks this year. Watch. Jermaine Johnson will have 10+ sacks at Florida State this year. Just watch. Hide and watch.
Yeah, sometimes I wish, Kirby would just let, Nolan Smith or Adam Anderson, whoever it is, try and take over a game like you see Chase Young do or some of these Alabama guys,
Yeah, I get it.
Some of these Alabama
you're trying to make everybody happy. I get it. You're trying to make everybody happy. But somebody is better than somebody else, period. And that somebody should be playing.
Yeah. Well, you have a good night, Lou, and I'll try and call him some more.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for the call. It's good to hear from you, sir. Thank you for taking the time. William Jewell, thank you for hitting the super chat, sir. I just have to find it. He says, Carolina Jackpot looks like the boss baby. Hold on. Is that true? Let's look and see. Is that true?
I'm just a little bit perturbed.
Y'all should really subscribe to Carolina Jackpot. His post-game reaction videos during the season are really amazing. I've been consistent on that, too. I've been saying it for years. Years. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Well, I'll tell you what, Uncle Lou. You're not the boy that's been quacking in my camper, have you?
No.
Hey, man, it's Texas T-Sip Central.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, I just wanted to come on and promote my channel, if that's okay. I'm pirating your show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, say yes.
Go ahead, but that's kind of ridiculous.
Hey, man, I just started out. It's just a bunch of UT football content trolling UT and other teams. That's all it is. I just want to have fun, talk trash. I'm not a stats guy. I'm not I don't follow recruiting. I just like to talk trash. So,
well, you'll fit right in around here. This is the trash talk's a part of college football. You can't separate the two.
Exactly. I mean, your show's been a big inspiration. So, kind of what pushed me in that direction, saying, you know what, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. But to be honest with you, the best way to get people to subscribe to your channel is to come on and do something entertaining, and then at the end say, by the way, I have a channel. And that's just friendly advice. I don't mind you calling up and saying, hey, I just want to ask people to subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. That's fine. You can do that, but it's not going to be very successful.
I'm sorry. I didn't know there was etiquette.
No, that's okay. I mean, like, honestly, come on the Lunch Money Show one night for an hour, or come on the morning show one day for an hour or something, and entertain people, and then they're more likely to subscribe to you at that point.
Okay. Well,
hell, even Talk was able to get 900 subscribers by mooching off of me. So that just goes to show you don't have to have any talent or ability at all to get it to 900. Anything above that, that's where your own ability kicks in.
Sweet, man. Thanks for the advice.
Yes, sir.
Also, hey,
Yeah.
What do you think the underside of Chess's titties smell like?
Oh my God. I've never smelled from under cheese, but I'm assuming it's something similar to that.
Yeah, I don't really think about it. I thought maybe you had an idea.
All right, and Texas's record in 2021 will be
7-5.
oh, dang. Trash talking your own team.
That's what I do, man.
I like it.
I'm not a homer.
I like it. All right, you guys check out Texas T-Sip Central and let me know what you think. Thank you for your call,
man.
T-Sip. Good to hear from you, buddy. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Morning, Uncle Lou. How are you?
Doing great.
Steven Roberts.
Good morning, Steven.
Hey, so I just wanted to give you a call because I finally got one of my buddies to start watching your YouTube channel. He's a Texas fan. I've been trying to get him on for years. Of course, he came on after we lost in the Sugar Bowl and ran his mouth for one time, and he wouldn't get on. And I just need him to hear that your opinion on Texas coming into the SEC, because he seems to be under the impression that they're going to be a 10 or 11 win team their very first season in the SEC. So his name is Jamie, and he's wrong. So I just wanted him to hear it from the expert.
And he said that about who?
Texas. He thinks Texas is going to come to the SEC their first season.
They can't win. They can't win 10 or 11 games in the Big 12.
I know.
So
well,
no,
I mean,
that's just potato.
Dallas stayed at home in their defense.
That's just potato. I mean, you know, Texas will be in the upper half of the SEC the minute they come in. You know, they'll be better than Vandy, at least one of the Mississippi schools, Kentucky, South Carolina, whatever. List them off. But I don't know how they expect to come into the SEC and win more games than they're winning in the Big 12. I mean, that's just silly. Now, I can see Oklahoma coming into the SEC and winning 10 games a year, depending on – and now this all depends on the schedule, you know. But if Texas comes into the SEC West, for example, and in the same season they have to play Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Arkansas, and LSU, they're not winning 10 games. And then plus they have to play two teams from the East. Let's say they play one good team and one bad team. And forget Georgia. Let's say they play Florida and Mizzou. They'll go 50-50 there. So, no, they're not winning 10 or 11 games their first year in the SEC. Now, if their first year is 2025, who knows? We don't know what recruiting or anything's going to happen between then and now, but I think they're coming in next year. They're not winning 10 or 11 games next year. It's not happening. 8-4 would be a remarkable season for Texas next year in the SEC, depending on the schedule. We got to wait and see who they get scheduled to play. But they're not coming in and winning 10 and 11 games. Absolutely. No. How many teams win 10 or 11 games in the SEC a year? 2, 3, maybe? Texas ain't going to be one of them.
100% agree. I just need him to hear it from the expert. That's all I need, Lou. I appreciate it.
All right, good. Yeah, tell him Uncle Lou said so. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
What's up, Lou?
What's up, buddy?
I'm a big fan, man. Been here for me.
I appreciate that.
Like a long time, you feel me? But I got a question for you.
What's that?
How will you expect Florida to be Georgia this year?
How bad do I expect Florida to beat Georgia this year?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to score. Do you?
Are you serious, my brother?
Yeah, you lost 90% of your offense.
Man, we don't talk about that. We just talk about the results. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. All your results are in the NFL. You feel me? You smell me?
Yeah, I feel you. But my recruits are coming. My recruits are coming.
Who?
My recruits.
What recruits? Dan Mullen can't recruit. You know who's coming? Emily Jones. And Dan Mullen's wife, multiple times. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. This is Edward calling it. How you doing on this excellent Tuesday night?
Doing great, sir.
Good. I do have a couple questions I'd like to ask you. First, I'd like to ask you, what's your prediction on Mississippi State in football as far as like what you think their record's going to go? And do you think Iowa State's a good fit for the Big Ten?
Do I think? Yes, I do think Iowa State's a good fit for the Big Ten. That's an easy question. The first one, Mississippi State. I like Mike Leach in terms of his personality and his post-game press conferences, and I will agree that he has shown that he can do some things offensively at Texas Tech and Washington State. I don't think gimmicky type of offenses like that work in the SEC. Mississippi State. Now I know Washington State doesn't recruit great either, but the talent gap of player that he's going to be able to recruit at Mississippi State versus the upper half of the SEC is way greater than the talent gap at Washington State versus the upper half of the Pac-12. And on top of that, Mississippi State's defense has just fallen off the face of the earth. So I like when I look at the two Mississippi schools that both hired offensive coaches last year, I'm way more confident in Lane Kiffin, upsetting one of the big boys and getting to, 9 wins or something than I am Mike Leach. I like Mike Leach better than Lane Kiffin in terms of entertainment value and stuff like. Although Lane Kiffin's entertaining in his own right with his Twitter. But so it's not that I don't like Mike Leach. I don't think he's going to be a success long term. Well, let me put it this way. Mississippi State will be looking for a new coach before Ole Miss will, in my opinion. Unless Lane Kiffin is using Ole Miss as a stepping stone like he used Tennessee as a stepping stone. Like, I don't know, like if Ole Miss were to win 10 games 2 or 3 seasons in a row, maybe Lane Kiffin gets an offer to what he considers a better opportunity somewhere and leaves on his own. But if someone's going to get fired first, it's going to be Mike Leach, not Lane Kiffin, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're going on that, and agreed. Totally agree with you on that. All right, cool. Thank you for answering my questions, and I'll talk to you again next week. I'll talk to you again Monday on the Lunch Money Show.
Sounds good, Edward. Thanks for calling in, buddy. I appreciate it. USC versus San Jose State, 16-point spread. I will take USC. I'm higher on USC than the average person. My betting philosophy early in the season when it comes to college football, I have a list of teams heading into every season that I'm higher on than the average person. I bet those teams early in the season. Then I have a list of teams I'm lower on than the average person, and I bet against those teams early in the season. That's not to say that I'm always right, but if Mizzou and Kentucky, for example, I'm higher on Mizzou than most people. I'm lower on Kentucky than most people. For that reason, I'll bet Mizzou early in the season, and I'll bet against Kentucky early in the season. Maybe I'll be right, maybe I'll be wrong, but when I believe something, I put my money where my mouth is. Because I'm not a typer troll that can disappear and change my screen name. Right, Gamecock Steve? Right. Carolina Jackpot, thank you for hitting the super chat tonight, or the PayPal. You didn't have to do that, sir, but of course it's appreciated. He says, make sure you call our show tomorrow night at 9:30. Rob is off the radio, but he needs the opportunity to explain himself. I will call. I don't have a night show tomorrow. So, God, I hope I can remember. If there's anybody listening that knows my cell phone number, somebody text me. Battle Angel, are you listening? Remind me. I will call. If y'all have a show tomorrow at 9:30, I will call. Because he says he wants to smoke, you said, from me. He can out-debate me. Plus, he said Kirby Smart's not one of the best 25 college coaches. Nothing would make me happier than to call. Make sure he knows I'm recording the call and uploading it immediately or maybe even sooner. But, yes, I will do that. Stephen Roberts, thank you for the super chat. He says, thanks for taking my call, Lou, and settling my debate with the Shorthorn fan. Have a good morning and go Dogs. Yeah, go Dogs. Dogs going to put that whooping on Tater Man here in a couple of weeks. Putting a whooping on the Tater Man. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Ballard.
Hello. You're on with Uncle
Tonight,
Lou.
can you hear me? It's Ballard. How you doing tonight?
Good morning.
I
You're on
just
with
wanted
Uncle
to
Lou.
talk
This
about
is your
this alliance.
chance. Go. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Holy shit. Shit. This
Got Ballard on the air cussing. That will be a stinger soon. That will be a stinger soon. Got Ballard on the air cussing while he's on his channel telling everyone to stop cussing and timing people out for saying shut up. But he's on the air cussing. Ballard, what if your grandma was listening? Ballard, what if Jesus was listening? Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, how you doing today, Lou?
Doing good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I just had a question about the future of the conferences and the SEC especially.
Okay.
In terms of scheduling games, especially outside of like traditional rivalries, like like your Georgia Tech or Louisville games like that, with this new alliance, do you think it'll be difficult for the SEC to get non-conference games against Power 5 teams from now on? Like, because all of these other conferences are going to be
if that's what their plan is, then yeah.
Playing each other.
Yeah, if that's what their plan is, then yeah. Then it will be difficult.
Yeah.
Because we can't force them to schedule us. So if that's part of their plan is to lock out the SEC from non-con games, then yes, it will be not difficult, but impossible for the SEC to schedule those games. Now, I don't know how they're going to navigate. I can't imagine, for example, Clemson agreeing to stop playing South Carolina. I can't imagine Florida State agreeing to stop playing Florida. I can't even imagine Georgia Tech agreeing to stop playing Georgia or Louisville to stop playing Kentucky. So I don't know how they would handle that, if they would grandfather those games in and then say, but we're not scheduling any more. Now, public perception would be so against them with that, because even the fans that I know, take Pigskin Pete, for example, huge Clemson fan. He doesn't want to see a situation where Clemson can't ever play Georgia again. Or, I mean, look at Clemson loves scheduling SEC teams. They've had home and homes with Auburn, home and homes with Texas A&M. They got 5 games scheduled with Georgia. I mean, these Auburn and Texas A&M games were just in the last 5 years. So I don't see how they would get all of these teams to agree to never schedule another SEC team. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you, I personally think, though, at the very least, they'll probably keep those traditional rivalries just because it would cause such an uproar. But in terms of like games, like I'm an Auburn fan, for instance, and one thing I really love about Auburn is how they go out and schedule a game pretty much every year against a team that's around the same level as them in the non-conference. Again, Washington, Clemson, even it was better than them. And even though it makes our schedule brutal, I love it. I think it's a great thing. I think every team should do more of that. And thinking that might not happen anymore, really, I don't like it at all. I think, or rather, I hope that there's some way kind of can agree to at least keep it going to an extent, even if it's not the exact same. Even if it's not every year, like at least try to have like every few years, because there's already so many games scheduled for the future, like 10 years from now between SEC and other teams. Like, is every SEC team going to have to redo their entire schedule now for the next 10 years? Like, that's going to be not easy to do.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but I've even said, too, scheduling these games 10 years out didn't make any sense to start with. I mean, these games get canceled all the time.
That's true.
Georgia and Ohio State had a home-and-home scheduled. Ohio State backed out. Like, this kind of stuff happens all the time. So, like, I think Georgia and Clemson have a game scheduled in 2032. Why? I mean, that's just silly. That was silly. Not that I don't want to play Clemson in 2032. I'd love to play Clemson any year. It's a great game. But the idea that you're scheduling these games, this game was scheduled 2 years ago. At the time, it was 12 years in advance. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But as far as this whole alliance
just
thing
think,
goes,
you know,
I don't
I
know
mean-
what the details are because they didn't, and they don't either. That's the problem. All they did was hold a news conference to say, you know, we're joining a friendship pact. You know, we're the new Goonies. We're not giving you any details. No contracts have been signed. No agreements have been made. It's just three guys sitting in a room agreeing to agree to something in the future. And that just doesn't mean that much to me, honestly. But, hey, thank you for the call. Daniel Howard in the comment section says he's a new subscriber. I appreciate that, Daniel. He's a Southern Cal fan. Wants me to stop being so high on Southern Cal. Helton's an awful coach. I'm not as down on Helton now as I was 2 years ago. I still think Southern Cal made a huge mistake by not getting Urban Meyer. The guy moved out there, for God's sakes. You should have fired Helton and hired him. You should have done whatever you had to do to get Urban Meyer. I'm not an Urban Meyer fan personally, but he made you a better team. You know, he's a great football coach for about 4 years. He'll leave you in shambles, but he'll give you a great 4 years. I just like the way the schedule sets up for Southern Cal this year. They don't have to play Oregon or Washington in the regular season. Arizona State is disintegrating because of investigations and distractions that are going on. I think Utah is a step back from what they were a couple of years ago. I just think the schedule in the Pac-12 sets up good for Southern Cal this year. I don't think Clay Helton's a national title winning coach or anything like that, but there's not a whole lot of hurdles to jump over in the Pac-12. And I think Southern Cal has the talent level to win the Pac-12, even with Clay Helton. Now, I think Oregon and Washington are going to be really, really good too. So I don't know that they'll win the Pac-12. But I do expect Southern Cal to win the Pac-12 South. Now, if they don't win the Pac-12 South, it would be an epic disappointment, and I'd be back to hating on Clay Helton at that point, for sure. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou. This is Evan again, and I saw your Penn State preview.
Yeah.
Why are you so low on Penn State? I don't know. It seemed unusually low on Penn State than I was expecting. So.
Well, I got them winning. I got them winning way more games than they won last year.
Yeah, but they're top 2 talent in the Big Ten, and I think they catch the Big Ten on kind of like a lower year. So I would think
maybe. I mean, they got some tough road games. I mean, week 1 at Wisconsin. I'll agree with you. Penn State is probably top to bottom, maybe a little bit more talented than Wisconsin, but Wisconsin's well coached. They're going to have 5 NFL offensive linemen. They play good defense, and that's a hard place to play. And you got to play them week 1. That's a tough draw week 1 on the road. So if I'm wrong on that one, that puts you at 9-3. You're not beating Ohio State. That's just a fact. I mean, you don't disagree with that, do you?
Oh yeah, no way. Yeah.
Okay,
I could see that.
Michigan owns you. I don't understand why. But they do. But
what was the score of the last game they played? Or the one before that too. I mean, Penn State, kind of been beating Michigan quite a few recently. Especially I don't really like how Michigan sets up for this year. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not high on Michigan either. Believe me, I think this is Harbaugh's last year there. But Penn State's a tough team to figure out because they're not a 5-4 team or a 4-5 team. They're way better than that. How much better? I don't know. I did the thing today. I came down at 8-4. So I've been wrong once before, like I mentioned earlier. Believe it or not, I actually picked Georgia to beat South Carolina in 2019. So I've been wrong before.
Yeah, I get you. But I'm surprised you're higher on LSU than Penn State because.
Well, I haven't done an LSU prediction. I haven't done LSU.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't done LSU. I just talk about LSU and Penn State in the same sentence all the time because it's two very similar stories. You mentioned Penn State's talent level. It's the same with LSU. LSU does not have 5-5 talent. I don't care. People can talk to me about last year till they're blue in the face. I don't care. Just like I don't care about Penn State being 4-5 last year. That's not who they are. I would bet everything I own that LSU's not going 6-6 this year and Penn State's not going 5-7. That's not happening. I don't care what their records were last year. Those are two teams that are going to win more games than they lose, period. Probably the two most improved teams record-wise in America this year.
Yeah, for me, I think the worst case scenario is well, probably maybe not worst case, but I think the most likely is probably 10-2. I don't really see them losing to Maryland. Like, I get that's a good trap game for you to pick, but I don't know. They've got really good secondary talent. They'll have tough defense, and
yeah, I mean, same thing with Maryland game. I'll admit on that. Like, you know, if I did these prediction videos and every single time all I did was pick every team to win every game that they're favored in and lose every game that they're an underdog in, there's no point in doing previews because that's not usually what ends up happening. Almost every team in America wins a game you don't think they'll win and loses a game you don't think they'll lose. The hard part is figuring out which games those are. And I only picked Maryland because, like you said, where it falls on the schedule, back-to-back road games. Who is it, at Ohio State before that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so at Ohio State, most likely going to take a beating. And then you got to turn around, demoralized, and go on the road to Maryland, who I think second-year quarterback, Pineapple Jr., I think they'll be a little bit better than people think. And, you know, so that's why I did that. You'll be favored in that game, clearly.
Yeah.
So I don't have any hate for James Franklin in particular. I've been, you know, people tell me I'm insane all the time for how much I like James Franklin. I think James Franklin's a great coach.
Yeah.
You know, he had those 2 bad years when he first got there, but he had to pull Penn State out of the gutter. He won 7 games each of his first 2 years there, but he's averaged 10 wins a season since then. So pretty good. And,
yeah,
and he's in probably the second or third hardest division in all of college football. So, you know, he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. And I'm not even a Penn State fan. I just found that like really, it was interesting. I've seen Penn State being like high as like 10-2, 11-1, and I was surprised to see sort of like a lower picture on Penn State than most people. So.
Yeah. Well,
I
we'll
was curious to see like any reasons sort of like for doubt. Do you just not like Sean Clifford? Because I could see that. Like, I'm not the highest Sean Clifford fan either, but
I don't think Sean Clifford's a guy that's going to go
talent.
out and bring you back from a 14-point deficit or anything like that. He's kind of a game managing guy, and he had a bunch of turnovers last year. But like I mentioned in the video, if you go back to 2019, 23 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. If he can put together something like that this year, maybe they win 9 or 10 games. And you know what? We'll know right after week 1, because if they're good enough to win on the road week 1 at Wisconsin, then they're not losing at Maryland. Wouldn't you agree? So that's 10-2 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll agree.
Well,
I will adjust my calculations if they win on the road week 1 at Wisconsin. I would definitely adjust my calculations at that point.
Yeah. My thing with Wisconsin, I guess, is like, I don't really know their running back too well. Like, I'm not really too high on their running game. They'll have a good O-line like usual, but I also don't, like, they don't really have any, like, breakaway receivers. They're kind of like, it seems like they're trying to go for, like, a more passive attack since they don't really have, like, a seasoned running back, but they don't really have any, like, experienced receivers. So not really as high as Wisconsin as a lot of people. Like I said, I've been more high on Minnesota than Wisconsin, but yeah, that's what I see.
Yeah. Well, hey, we ain't got to wait much longer to find out. That's the good thing. We're not having this conversation in March. You know what I mean? We're having it at the end of August, so we're gonna find all this stuff out here pretty soon. But hey, thank you for the call. That was a good call. Thank you for the call. I'm glad you took the time, and I hope to hear back from you again. Back to the Patreon line here. Let's see who this is. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou, it's Tiger Paul.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man, how you been?
Been good, you?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, we're we got college football coming up this weekend. So,
yeah. I'm gonna be streaming the Nebraska and Illinois game on the Patreon page. So if you're at home watching the game, tune in.
Yeah, I definitely will. We'll see if Scott Frost can get his ish together.
Yeah, big game for Nebraska, because if they can't beat if you can't beat Illinois has got a brand new coaching staff. So if you're Scott Frost and you're in year 4 at Nebraska and you can't beat Illinois, you're in for a rough season.
Yeah, who can you beat at that point?
Exactly.
Honestly, I think after week 0, we'll know if Scott Frost's days are numbered in Nebraska, if that experiment's over.
Yeah, better get on the phone with Luke Fickell.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, so I just wanted to get my comments out about this quote unquote alliance between the ACC, the Pac-12, and the Big Ten. This is the biggest joke that I've ever heard in my entire life. I mean, like, what was this news conference for? Like,
Nothing.
They literally got up and literally said nothing. Like they broadcasted it as, oh, we have this huge announcement that we're about to make, assumingly in response to what the SEC just did, which, I mean, you can't blame the SEC for what they just did. They just added the two biggest brands from the Big 12 that, you know, they possibly could, and good on them for doing it. But, like, I mean, I think it just makes the other three conferences just look weaker.
The only thing they can do
conference
that would matter would be vote no against playoff expansion. And maybe that's what they're going to do. I don't know. I don't know.
And even if they do
because
that,
the
like,
idea is that now these other conferences don't want playoff expansion, because if you go to 12 teams, you're going to have 5 or 6 SEC teams every year, and the other conferences don't want that. So they're going to vote no, keep it at 4, honestly, and that'll limit the SEC to usually 1 team, maybe sometimes 2. But other than that, I don't know what this would accomplish. I really don't know what it would accomplish. I really don't know.
They talk about some scheduling alliance or something. Like, what does that even mean? Like, we can schedule each other right now. Like,
right. It doesn't
we
mean
don't
anything.
need an alliance. Like, scheduling, you know, a thing. Like, we can schedule whoever we want in the non-conference.
Right.
Like, that's already a thing. You know? So,
Jesus Christ Home Slice in the comment section says the same thing. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Jesus Home Slice. He says, what does this alliance even mean? If it's not a merger, it's more or less meaningless.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
If they came out and they announce, like, some major, like, announcements on, like, conference realignment, then I can see, like, okay, well, you know, maybe they had something planned, and, you know, this is a huge response to what the SEC did, but, like,
now,
they just came out and literally
maybe, and I don't know. I you know, the TV deal thing is a complicated thing, and I don't know the inner workings of it. But maybe, what if they reach some sort of arrangement where whoever wins the ACC is going to play whoever won the Big Ten week 1 every following year.
Yeah. Okay.
And then maybe the next year the Pac-12 winner plays the Big Ten winner, and then the next year the ACC winner plays the Pac-12 winner, and you do like that. And week 1 is 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. So like whoever lost the ACC title game plays whoever lost the Big Ten title. If they matched it up some kind of way like that and gave us some interesting games. Yeah. But like Pete said on his video today, who's interested in watching Clemson play Arizona or Purdue?
Literally
nobody.
Yeah.
Now maybe they're coming up with some kind of way to match it up based off previous years' rankings or something to give us some interesting games. Then as a college football fan, great. More great games for me to watch. But as far as this being some kind of a response to the SEC, it's meaningless.
Yeah. I mean, if we get a home and home with Ohio State, cool. Like, I'm completely fine with that. Like, that would be great. I love playing Georgia. I love playing Auburn. I love playing, you know, all these big non-con games. Like, it's great for college football, especially as a fan. But at the end of the day, this whole idea that, oh, we now have some sort of gentleman's agreement, whatever the hell that means, for a scheduling alliance, like,
it means
that
nothing.
literally means nothing.
It's like I said earlier.
The only thing
when Texas A&M joined the SEC, they were given a gentleman's agreement that Texas would never be admitted to the SEC. And now look, gentlemen, these things mean nothing.
Work out for them?
You know what means something? Money. Money. That's what means something. And other than that, not much.
The sooner people realize that college football is literally all about money these days. Like, the only thing I could see that this alliance would even benefit is if they tried to, like, finagle something away from ESPN and maybe went to Fox or, who knows with these streaming services down the road, like, you got Amazon and all the, you got Apple, maybe these streaming services make a run at college football.
And by the way, I'm all for that,
road.
by the way. Competition is great. It would drive the prices down.
Yeah.
Which would trickle down to us on our cable bills or our streaming bills and everything else. So I'm not against not against that. But as far as this being any type of response to the SEC, it's a nothing burger.
It's garbage. Yeah, it's a huge nothing burger. And unless they're planning some run like we just talked about another network or a streaming service, them making alliance with them and kind of cutting the ESPN model out of the deal, then if it's not that, then it's nothing. Like there's no power in it. There's no true response in it.
Yeah.
So I mean that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
But back to week 1, my Tigers and your Georgia Bulldogs playing. I can't wait for that game. I mean,
be a good one.
Am I wrong? This is the game of the year at this point. I mean,
so.
Maybe there'll be a game with more importance later on down the road in the year, and I'm sure there might be. But as far as week 1s go, I mean, this has got to be one of the most epic openings to a week 1 that then there's been in a long time. Yeah. I mean, in my opinion.
No, I agree. If you look at the regular season schedule from beginning to end, there's not another top 5 matchup. Now that doesn't mean, like you said, that won't change and there will be later in the year conference championship games, something like that. But when you look at every team schedule, I mean, the top 5 teams, no matter what poll you look at, are Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Georgia, Ohio State in some order. The only 2 of those 5 teams that are scheduled to play in the regular season are Georgia and Clemson. So right now, this is the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an epic game. I can't wait for it. I wish I could go to it. I can't make it down there. I'm stuck in upstate New York, so I can't make it down there. Plus, the ticket prices are absolutely insane.
Yeah, I'm only 2 hours away, and I can't make it either because of the ticket prices.
Yeah, the ticket prices are absolutely insane. Like with my flight down there and the ticket prices, like I'd be going for broke. I'd be homeless by the time.
Oh, it cost you $2,000 between plane tickets and hotels and ticket prices and the money you spend to eat and everything else. Why it cost you $2,000 to go to that game easy.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't wait for the game. I can't wait to watch it. My only hope is, like, believe me, I'm a Clemson homer. I hope we beat Georgia, just like you hope Georgia beats Clemson. But I really just hope that it's a good game. At the end of the day, like all these people talking about like the Georgia injuries and all this stuff, and like some people, you got your fans out there that are happy about, oh, Georgia's got this player injured and this player. I'm not happy about anything. I want both teams to be full strength. I want it to be the most epic game in college football this season. So I really can't wait for the game. But yeah, I'm just excited that college football's back, man. Like it's been a long off season.
Me too.
I'm glad that fans are back in the stands. I'm glad that we can see, hopefully for the duration of college football, we can see full stadiums and it'll be back to some normalcy for all of us, So that's just what I'm hoping.
Yeah, we can all agree on that. No matter what team we root for, we can all agree on that. The more back to normal we can get, the better. Hey, man, thank you for the call. It was good to hear from you. Thank you for the support over on the Patreon page, and I look forward to hanging out with you during these game streams on Saturdays during the season.
Yes, sir. We'll see you over there.
All right, buddy. Thank you. All right, last call. Here we go. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Oh, my goodness. The fact that I got on and all this mayhem is amazing. What's up for Billy Paul?
What's up, Paul?
It's awesome, man. I'll look at the studio. I swear to God, how do you do this? You just make a pearl out of shit.
It's coming together soon. I'm a couple of days away from filming some videos in there, so it's going to be. I'm excited. I'll have it ready to go for sure by Saturday.
It looks good. So I'm thinking. Just looking at these games, right? And I get a little upset with the alliance. Do they think they're going to change all this stuff? This is it triggered me. It really has. I've been on fire. When Pete isn't even close to being as mad as I am about it. This alliance bullshit. These people on high are not going to change the landscape of college football, especially not the Southern college football. They can do whatever the hell they want in the Midwest and the West. I don't care. You can do your thing. If Clemson goes along with this, I swear, I'm telling you, and I've told people, and I say this, I'm not joking. There's a lot of people at Clemson that are saying, if y'all go along with this nonsense, then we're leaving. We're leaving.
Yeah.
We don't need any more money.
Could happen.
No, this is nonsense. Ohio State isn't going to control Clemson. Okay? So they can go, I'll give them the goat, as Jesse would say.
Shout out to Raj.
No, I won't. No, screw that. These people are crazy. No. But anyway, I just wanted to call in and give you a shout out. Thank you. Hey, it was great looking at your studio improvements. You're getting really close. And I just wanted to give you a call.
It's going to be a hell of a season. Okay? I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for the super chat earlier, too. I was just about to get to it. He says, tell it like it is, Lou. It's one thing you can count on me. I will always tell it like it is or like I think it is.
It doesn't matter. Whatever you think is what it is.
Right.
It's fun.
Paul, it's good to hear from you. Thank you again for the support, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Huffer Billy Paul checking in. That's going to do it for the phone calls. No one else is on hold, so I'm going to turn the phone systems off. A couple more super chats here. Bash, thank you for the super chat. He says, Illinois returns Epstein and Brown, who both ran for over 100 yards and a 41-23 win in Lincoln last year. Brett Bielema is known for a strong run game. Illinois by 7. Yeah, last night on the Lunch Money Show, I picked Illinois in that game with the points. So hopefully, maybe we'll both be right. John Waffle, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, West Virginia will not join. I think you're talking about the ACC. We'll find out. A lot of people think it's pretty much a done deal at this point. I don't know. Bash, thank you again for the super chat. He says, VicTube says, I'm a burner of Celine Driver. Hurt. Well, just because you share a last name doesn't necessarily mean you're the same person. So there's always that. But hey, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Thanks to everybody that called in, too. We had some great phone calls tonight. This was a fun show. I'll be back Thursday night to do this call-in show again. No live shows tomorrow on Wednesday. But I'll be back Thursday morning on the second channel for the morning show. And I'll be back Thursday night right here for the call-in show. Big shout-out to everybody that helped support the channel with the Super Chat and the PayPal. Bash, John Waffle, Huffer Billy Paul, Jesus Christ Home Slice, Stephen Roberts, William Jewell, Dogs on Top, and Waikiki. And then over on the PayPal page, we had our my good buddy Carolina Jackpot. Thank you, Jackpot, for helping to support the show tonight. Thank you for calling in, too. I appreciate that. And looks like we got Ballard looking for some attention, too. But a super chat, he says, no hatred, Lou. I'd love to come back on Fridays. Also, I think this alliance is stupid. Ballard, I get that. You keep saying that to me. You keep texting me that nonstop, that you want to come back on the show on Fridays. You keep calling into the show and telling me you want to come back on Fridays. But then you're all over everywhere else on YouTube, basically running your mouth, saying that you've got no interest in me or any of my shows, that I'm not a very good person, and that the only reason you keep asking to come back on the show is because you're trying to troll me. Well, you can't troll the troll, Ballard. Best thing I can tell you to do is get back to the movie theater and sweep up some more popcorn. I don't know what else to tell you. Go on Chess Hall's show and read the news. The 9 people there would be happy to hear it. I liked having you on the Friday show. But the reality is, well, that's all. That's enough that needs to be said about it. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time. Have a good morning. I like you, Ballard. That's why I'm not saying anymore.